Boxing is a combat sport. It's something about the kids and boxing that correlates. When you see the look in some of these kids' faces here at PAL, and you see the hugs that they give all of us, they refer to us as coaches, it absolutely changes your perspective on how we can impact our community.
The most fruitful program is the boxing program. Boxing programs actually started with Larry Siegel in the late 50s, early 60s. Larry Siegel was a corporal here with the police department, and sometimes in the late 80s, the program has pretty much died off. And there's a resurgence of the boxing program with the assistance of Dennis Small in 2016.
I'd say about 3 years ago, recently into my accepting of the position of Hispanic Liaison Officer with the police department, I took it upon myself to engage the youth of the city on a positive level at the inception of their encounters with law enforcement. One of the challenges that I put forward when I assumed this position was to create a revitalization of our Police Athletic League boxing program.
My name is Officer Azariah Israel. I work with the Tampa Police Department. I'm assigned to the Tampa Police Athletic League. I grew up as a PAL kid in Jacksonville, Florida. Instead of picking up guns or drugs or whatnot, I picked up a basketball and a football, and it turned my whole thinking around, seeing how cops interacted with the kids, with me. And just from that point on, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to be.
The Police Athletic League started in New York over 100 years ago. The very first program was boxing. Boxing, being combat in nature, has a way of working with an individual. It helps develop the young man, not just as an athlete, but we're looking for all the dynamics. We want a child to be a well-rounded individual when they leave us.
One of my fraternity brothers from USF, Francisco Areola, four-time world champion, had always talked to me about becoming a Police Athletic League boxing coach.
We've also had a phenomenal trainer, Coach Sherman Hensley, and everything that we've been taught from those guys, we give back to the kids.
An encounter like this one, when you create a safe, positive, disciplined environment, like what boxing demands, not only breeds a champion mindset in these young boys and girls, but it also affords us the opportunity to allow them to see the human side of the officers who are taking time out of their schedules away from their families to give back.
We have a unique opportunity to help shape the future generation's perception of law enforcement. And the relationships that we build on a day-to-day basis could possibly save one of these kids' lives.
We actually bridge the gap. We've had the opportunity last year to service 120 families, and that's been our greatest success up until this time.
Having a kid just coming up and just building something like this for you, okay? Making something like this, taking the time out to craft a card. This is what really lets me see that, hey, I am making a difference.
In the past 3 years, we've actually been able to cultivate a relationship with the Tampa Housing Authority, which in my opinion is definitely honing in on our target audience, the demographic that needs it the most.
I am the Assistant Youth and Sports Program Manager for the Tampa Housing Authority. We are responsible for several thousand at-risk youth that are public housed. And so we're responsible to try to help them in any way we can, academically, culturally, through mentorships, and through sports programming.
So I've been a police officer for 15 years. This is the most impactful position that I've had.
Getting a chance to be able to coach kids as a cop, that's the greatest feeling ever.
We have a passion to helping families. All of us have families, but it's just something about seeing a young man go from a boy to a young adult to an adult, and now we have the opportunity to instill those same traits in his children. That's the blessing of being here at PAL.
I'm Mike Jensen. I'm on the board of directors of Tampa PAL Police Athletic League, and I'm also head of the boxing committee. I'm a PAL kid. I started in Philadelphia, very low income area, and I was always in trouble.
It starts with the youth. If we can change the mindset, we could reduce crime. But if we can just at least save one kid, then you know what, our job is done.
I'm involved in PAL because they saved my life. One of the things I learned from PAL and the Jesuits is you give back, and you give to others, and you serve others. And PAL serves the kids who need it more than anybody in this country. That's why PAL is great. They take care of the children.